In today's episode, I have 2 finished objects, 3 works in progress, a few new acquisitions with some future plans for knitting, and also a couple of non-knitting related crafts that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Hi there, welcome back to Knitting by the Bay. My name is Christy, and this is a podcast all about making, but mostly knitting. In today's episode, I have 2 finished objects to share with you, as well as 3 works in progress. I also have some new yarn with some new future knitting plans that I wanted to share. And also, I have 2 different crafting projects that I've been working on recently. I also want to announce the winners of my textures bundles pattern. So I'm randomly picking 2 winners for that. So please stay until the end of the video to see if you've won. So I will keep those non-knitting related crafts until the end of the episode in case you're only here for the knitting, which is totally fine. But let's dive into my first finished object. It is a pattern by Erica Huser. And these are the Songbird Mittens. So here are mine. I knit mine using Cascades 220 fingering for the navy blue. And then I think it was Filcolana Arwetta for the light gray color. I'm really, really happy with how they turned out. I think they're super pretty. That's the other side. I love this detail on the thumb here. I think that's so beautiful. And they were so much fun to knit. I think the pattern is very easy to understand. I love this, how it has this pattern down the side. I think it's just so pretty. And the cuffs too. So I'm super happy with how they turned out. I asked my husband to make me some mitten blockers, basically just cut some wood out. We traced the mittens, and then I asked him to cut the wood out in the shape of the mitten. And so they're not like perfectly done. I probably could have measured and done it a little bit better, but it really doesn't matter because I think it did a great job of blocking these. I think they turned out really well. The one thing that I don't like, I think it's this one, it's curving a little bit because it's very thin wood. I think it's balsa wood. So when it gets damp from the mittens, it's curving. So I think I might just glue these 2 together so that it's more of a thicker wood, and hopefully it won't bend as much. And I thought, he asked me, do you want 1 or 2? And I was like, well, I need 2 for the 2 mittens, but obviously I don't need 2 at the same time because I'll finish one and block it and then finish the other one and block that one separately. So I only really need 1 of these, but I'm really happy. It was very simple. I was looking online to buy a mitten blocker, and then I was like, why? I already have this like wood. I already had this wood, so it's very simple just to cut it out. So yeah, I'm happy with those homemade mitten blockers. And okay, I knit these mittens using US 2 or 2.75 millimeter needles, and I decided to use these 9-inch circulars to knit them. And I'm really loving the experience of knitting with these now. It took a little while to get used to them, but I'm really enjoying this now, and I think my tension looks a lot better using this circular instead of using the magic loop or the double pointed needles. And then you don't have to keep shifting your needles every time you get to the end, if you're doing magic loop or the double pointed needles. You just get knitting and you go with the flow. So yeah, I really like that. So normally when I knit color work, I hold one color in one hand, the other color in the other hand, so continental and then English style knitting at the same time. And that's how I've knit all my colorwork sweaters and colorwork socks before. But then I was watching on Instagram and I saw somebody post a reel of themselves knitting colorwork holding both strands in the right hand. So knitting with both strands English style. And I thought that sounds interesting because when I hold in my the strand in my continental hand, I feel like that yarn is a lot looser. So my stitches are a lot looser knitting that way. When I'm English style, I tend to like tension the yarn a little bit tighter. So those stitches are a bit tighter, and that's where I'm getting this like the gauge being, or I mean the tension being a little bit wonky with knitting it that way. So I thought this is interesting. I want to try knitting with both strands in one hand. And it was like very easy to do. So I will put a little video of what it looks like doing it that way. And yeah, like once I got going with it, it took a little bit of practice, but once I got going with it, I really, really liked it. And I thought that my tension was looking really, really good. But the problem I find when I'm knitting color work is I don't notice the tension until I'm like, probably 2 inches up. And then I look back on it and I can see the tension's not great. So I was going along with it and I'm like, okay, this looks amazing. This is my way of doing it now. And then later on, I realized, no, it's not perfect. There's still issues with the tension. But so this is the one that this is the one that I knit doing it with both strands, like in my right hand. And after blocking, I think it turned out really great. I think it looks really good. And I think it looks just as good as the one where I did both hands. So I think blocking really helps with that. But as far as the experience of knitting with both strands English style, I loved it. And I think I will continue to do that. The only thing that I need practice with is how to catch my floats that way, because you have to be able to twist or loop the yarn around the other yarns, the one that you're not knitting with, the one that you're carrying behind. And when I do it in my continental or English style way, I've gotten used to how to do that, and I'm not really sure how to do it when knitting with them both in one hand. So if anybody else is doing it that way, knitting with both strands in the right hand, and you have a way that you catch the floats easily, please drop it in the comments down below, because I'm really interested in learning how to do that. Okay, second finished object is one that I've been working on for a while, and that is my Moby Sweater. This is a pattern by Petite Knit, and it's a DK weight cabled sweater. And I decided to use Peer Gynt, Sandnes Garn Peer Gynt in the color 2650. And yeah, super happy with how it turned out. I've got it on a hanger here just to show you guys. Normally I wouldn't keep it on the hanger, but I think it turned out so well. Super happy with it. And I don't know really what I want to say, because I've talked a lot about this already in previous episodes. So you can go back if you want to learn a little bit more about this sweater and my experience knitting it. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I thought it knit up pretty quickly. The instructions are pretty good. I wouldn't say this is a beginner sweater at all, but it's not, if you're willing to look things up and learn, it's not that difficult to do. And I found that this, chart here is very easy to memorize. You don't have to keep looking at the chart. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to knit. The sleeves have the cable running down the side as well. Yeah, super fun. And then you've got a ton of double moss stitch. And, by the time I was done, or even just working on the sleeves, I was like, I cannot wait to be finished this, because I'm a little tired of knitting double moss stitch because there's a lot of it. At least when you're doing the body, you've got this huge section here of different stitches, but then you've got just the side with the double moss stitch. But the sleeves, it's like so much double moss stitch. And so yeah, I was kind of over it by the time I finished this. But I really like how it turned out. So a couple of things that I wanted to mention about it was, it's kind of interesting how in the pattern she tells you to knit your sleeve to a certain length, and it's just one length given. And I thought that was interesting because, we all have different lengths of arms. And, I'm taller. So that length that she suggested in the pattern is definitely not for me. So all I had to do was try the sweater on and then, knit to the length that I wanted the sleeves to be, which is what I normally do anyway. But I thought that was kind of interesting that she just had one size put down for the sleeves. Another thing is this ribbing at the hem is very, very tall. And I ended up not doing mine as tall as she suggested. So I don't know what I did, maybe 2 inches. And I think she suggests 3 inches, which I thought was a very chunky band of ribbing there. And so, yeah, that's what I modified on the sleeves and on the body. And one other thing, and this is me being a little bit picky and really is not that big of a deal. But when you begin, you've picked up your stitches for your sleeves and you're going to start knitting that chart with the cable. And it basically begins, you do like 2 rows of the chart and then you're going to twist your stitch. So on the 3rd row, you're twisting that stitch there for that cable. And I just thought that when you twist it right here where you've joined on the sleeves, it gives a little bit of a bump here. I don't know if you guys can see. And it's just me being very picky, and it's not really that big of a deal. But maybe you can see there's like this bump where the cable twists. And when you're wearing it on your shoulder, it's a little bit more pronounced than here. So I just thought, why not start that part? Because you're like, why not do, it's a 10 row repeat for the cable. So why not knit, 9 rows or whatever, and then do your twist of your cable down there. So it's not sticking up right here where you've joined on. But really, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think anybody else would notice when I'm wearing it, that little bump. And other than that, I think that that's all that I wanted to say. I love the Peer Gynt. I think it's very nice and warm, and I've heard that this is a yarn that lasts forever. And I really like that I've used that yarn to knit the Moby Sweater, because I think that this is, a sweater that is timeless. It's just will go with so many things in this neutral color, and I think I'll have this sweater forever. That's what I imagine. So I'm very happy with the Moby Sweater. I definitely recommend, if you haven't knit this sweater yet, that you try it out. Okay, so now let's move into my works in progress. I think I'll begin with my mittens that I've been working on. So if you guys have watched before, you might have seen my first mitten here. These are the world's simplest mittens. It's a pattern by Tin Can Knits. And I embroidered a little fox on it. And I got this decal from the company Knitted Bliss. So I'll just show you. That's the little pack. Sorry about the glare. That's a little pack of decals that you get, and they just stick on the mitten, and then you embroider through it, and then it washes away. So that's my first one with my cute little fox. And so I have started on the second mitten. So I'll show you what I've got so far. So what you do is you just knit 2 before you start doing the decreases for the fingers at the top. So you don't close off the mitten. And then you leave those stitches on hold and you place your decal on, and then you're gonna embroider the mitten, and then you go back and you close up the mitten, and then you can do the thumb as well. So I have decided to use this one. I should show you the real picture of it. I'm going to be doing this robin here on the branch. And so this is what I've got. I've stuck the motif on and I just stitch it down. It is sticky, but I feel it does peel away. And so I saw on her website that she had stitched down the template. So that's what I did there. And I'm going to be starting, I think, this weekend to embroider this pretty little robin. So I'm excited about that. I am using Blue Sky Fibers Woolfolk Worsted, I think it's called, in the color Driftwood. And I just had this one left over in my stash, and it's such a nice, soft, squishy yarn. I love it. So those are my world's simplest mittens. All right, so let's move on to my work in progress number 2, which is Corvid, and this is a pattern by Jared Flood. It's a very big, squishy, oversized, like blanket style, long coat, he calls it. And so this is what I have so far. So it is a lot longer than the last time I showed you guys. I've been working away on it. And yeah, that's what I've got so far. So this one goes down to about mid-calf, and it's quite a long coat or sweater. I think a lot of people had talked about this one on the project pages, saying that it's made for like very tall people. And so I'm pretty tall, so I feel confident that it's going to be the right length for me. But if you are shorter, I'm 5'8", so if you're shorter than me, you might do it differently for the length and just kind of change the rate of decreases, and decrease faster. So you don't have it as long as mine is going to be. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's very simple to knit right now. Like you're knitting it in pieces, flat, and then you seam it all together. So it'll be a back, 2 fronts, the sleeves, and then you seam it all together. And yeah, I'm using Cascades 220 in the color River Rock Heather, held together with this Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. And the mohair right now is driving my nose crazy. I feel like there's so much mohair in the air, and it's making my nose very itchy. So I apologize for that. So I'm holding those together to get this like marled sort of, grayish beige. I don't know if I said the color. So this is pearl gray. I'm not sure if I said that. So I wanted it to sort of mute down any warmth out of the River Rock Heather and make it more of a dustier sort of beigey gray color. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I love the color and I'm enjoying knitting it very much. It's just something that I have for if I'm at my son's sporting events or hanging out with friends. We just drove down. We drove my mother-in-law down to St. Catharines to stay with my sister-in-law. She's going to go and visit her for the week. So we took a drive down there, which was a few hours there, a few hours back. So I had a lot of time to knit in the car, and I got a lot of progress done on this one. All right, so my whip number 3 is the one that you see here hanging behind me. And it is a pattern out of the Santa's Garn book 2202. And it is called the Gia Zipper Genser. And I'll show you a picture out of the book of it so you can see what it's going to look like. So that's it there. It's kind of like, it's oversized at the top here, and it's got this zipper that goes up for the collar. But then what you're going to do once you join in the round, you start decreasing. So it has this sort of shape like that. And yeah, so the bottom here, it's going to like sort of puff out a little bit above the ribbing, if that makes sense. And yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot so far. I think this picture is really pretty with the blouse that she's wearing underneath it. I love it. So I was thinking yesterday that I wanted to get it in the round to show you guys it in the round. I don't know why I thought like, oh, it'd be better to have more progress and get it in the round. But then I thought, no, because then it's going to scrunch up on the needle so much you won't be able to see anyway. So I've left it right before the point that I'm going to join it in the round. And this is what I have so far. So what you are doing, you work the back first, and you are doing short rows to create this sloped edge here for the back. And then you go back and you pick up the stitches on one side, and you're going to start doing short rows as well as increases. So you're doing short rows to shape the shoulder side, and then you're doing increases to shape the V-neck here as well. So there's a lot going on there, but it was a lot of fun to knit that part. I love doing short rows. One thing I noticed though is that I did not do the greatest job with my short rows on this side. Actually, it's a little embarrassing to show because I feel like, look at that. You can really see where I did those short rows. And I was looking it up and kind of read that, well, you got to pull your yarn very tight when you're doing the short rows. And so I did it on this side, and it's a lot less noticeable on this side. So I don't know. I think it'll be up on my shoulder back here. I don't think anybody would really see it. So I wasn't going to rip it out and redo it or anything. But yeah, just a tip to make sure that you really tug on those. Tug the strand over. It's German short row. So tug the strand over really tight. And then when you go to knit them together, make sure you're pulling very tight on that so you can close up any holes. But other than that, you can see when you join the front, you cast on quite a lot of stitches here. So it's not a total, well, I can't hold it for you guys to see. Let me put it back on the hanger. So it's not like a sharp V-neck because you're going to cast on a whole bunch of stitches to go across there because you're fitting in this panel after that has the zipper in it. So that's a whole panel in there that you're going to do. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to knit. I've been mostly working on my Moby sweater. And so I just started working on this one like pretty much full time. I was working on the Songbird Mittens and Moby to get those done. And now I'm putting more effort into working on this one. I absolutely love this color. I haven't even told you guys what I'm using yet. I'm using Sandnes Garn Double Sunday in the color Above the Clouds. This is a petite knit colorway. And it's a dusty sort of lighter blue. And then I'm holding it together with Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Soft Blue. So I wanted that to, again, soften that color a little bit, give it more of a dusty sort of halo on it. And I really like the color. I think this is one of my favorite colors right now, this sort of soft, dusty blue. So yeah, I love how that's turning out. Is there anything else I wanted to say about it? Don't think so. So yeah, I'm going to be working on this one a lot now, hopefully getting this one done soon. I really want to make another one of these. Like, I haven't even finished yet, but I think I really want another one in my wardrobe. So I can't decide if I want to make another one of the Gia zipper Gensers, or if I want to make Petite Knits zipper sweater light. I kind of am thinking about that one too. I'm not sure that I like the raglan sleeves on the zipper light Petite Knit zipper light sweater as much as I like the drop sleeve on this one. So I'm not really sure. I'll see how this one turns out. If I really like it as much as I'm hoping I will, I might make another one in. I'm thinking of maybe like a dusty rose color. I think I would really like that. Other than that, I'm also kind of thinking I'm kind of wanting to get some I really want to use the Knitting for Olive Dusty Rose. So I've kind of been thinking maybe just to make a basic like sweatshirt type sweater. So I've been looking at the Monday sweater, which is also a raglan sleeve. So I'm not sure if I want to do that one or not. But I know that it's been knit so many times, and I think it looks like just a really nice basic sweatshirt type of sweater. But if you guys have any other recommendations for something, I want it to be a crew neck and yeah, just be a very casual kind of sweater. So if you have any recommendations, please leave those in the comments down below. And I think that's all I wanted to say about the Gia Zipper Genser. Okay, so now I wanted to talk about some of the acquisitions that I've picked up recently. So the first one is from a little garden store that's down the street from my house. My mom and I went shopping there, looking at their plants if they had anything on sale now at the end of the season. But I didn't get any plants, but I did pick up this really cute little bowl. Sorry about the glare. Little cat. And I wanted this for just to sit beside my chair where I knit to hold my most favorite like progress keepers and stitch markers in. And I love everything that has cats on it. And I can't have a cat because I'm very allergic to them, but I think they're adorable anyway. So I like anything with cats, like cat patterns on it, I love. So yeah, I had to grab that one. Another thing that I picked up, well, maybe I'll show you the yarn first. So there's a yarn store that's kind of close to where we live in Barrie, Ontario, and it is called True North Yarn Company, I think. And I've ordered from them a few times online, but I've never been to the shop. So my husband wanted to go into Barrie to go to Busy Bee Tools. So I said, okay, I'll go with you, but I want to stop at the shop and see. And so, yeah, we went there, and it's a really nice store. It's not super big or anything, but they had tons of like really good lines of yarn. And the staff there was super friendly. I thought it was like a really, really nice shop. They were so helpful there because I had seen a lot of different things online. And so I was like, oh, I know that you have this. I know that you have that. And then they helped me like find it in the store, and they were so friendly. So I totally recommend going there if you live in this area close to Barrie. I think it's a great shop. So I ended up picking up some Drops Charisma, and I wanted this one for a shawl. No, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it up on the screen. And it's one that I've shared before, I think in my fall knitting plans. I know that I did last year, and I'm not sure if I talked about it again this year because I really, really want to knit this pattern. And it's a shawl pattern by Pearl Soho, and it's free. And I've just really wanted to knit it because I like that it doesn't have lace on it or anything, but it does have a lot of texture, which I believe is twisted rib. So there's stockinette, and then there's twisted rib there as well. And then it has one row of bobbles, which I think there's a lot of bobbles in that row. So yeah, that'll be maybe fun. I don't know, it might be annoying, but I think that it looks really, really cute. And yeah, so I wanted something that was sort of kind of like my Moby Sweater with the beigey gray color. So I picked this one up, and this is color 77. I'm not sure if it has a name, but it says color 77. And this is a superwash wool, which I didn't know until I got to the store, and then I looked at it, and then I saw that it was superwash. But I think that I really like this as a superwash for my shawl because I don't care if it gets stretched out. Superwash tends to stretch out. I don't care about that because the bigger the better, in my opinion. And also, I think it'll be really nice to hold on my neck because with the superwash, it won't be prickly or irritating at all. And also, if I'm wearing it around my neck, I might get makeup on it or something, and so I can put this in the washing machine. So I think that'll be great too. So I'm really happy actually that it is a superwash wool. So that's going to be a future project, which I'm starting to allow myself to cast on new things like on a Friday. I just like think it makes it a little bit more special. So I wait until a Friday night, and then I get to cast on something new, either like a little accessory, or if I'm ready to cast on another sweater, then I'll save it till Friday night, and it's like a Friday night cast on party. So that will be hopefully this week. I'm going to cast that shawl on. That's exciting because I've never made a shawl before, and I've never worn a shawl. And even the word shawl to me is not my style at all. But I think with this one, it does have a lot of texture, but it's kind of basic looking as well. And I imagine just like wearing something like an all black outfit. I usually like to wear, like, I don't love yoga pants, but I like, what do you call them? Like more of like a flare or a boot cut yoga pant. So it's a bit tighter up at the waist, is like elastic waist and tighter there, but it kind of comes down and flares a little bit, or more like a boot cut at the bottom, because I don't like the look of something going like this on me and with my hips and then coming down to my ankle. I don't like that sort of triangle look. I like it to be more straight and balanced. And I find those pants give me that look. And also, I don't love the feeling of something very tight on my legs. So with that boot cut, it doesn't bother my legs at all. And so, yeah, I imagine wearing a pair of those pants with a black top and then having this shawl like on top and some boots. So when I was at True North, I also picked up a really beautiful progress keeper, stitch marker, row counter. It's like all those things in one. And it's by the company Twill and Print. So sorry about that glare. That's not really helpful. Anyway, it's the company Twill and Print. And I thought it was so pretty. I saw these online, so when I went into the shop, I was like, can you please show me where those are? Because I thought it was really beautiful. So this is it here. Sorry about the glare again. Anyway, it is a butterfly, but the head of the butterfly is a skull. And then it has this dial that turns, so you can mark off what row you're on. I just love that. I don't even know if I'll use this row counter really, but I like when things have like a movable piece to them like that. There's a whole bunch of them that she has. I think one is like a little cassette tape maybe. Yeah, lots of different designs. So I thought that was so pretty. I had to grab that. And so I might use that one when I'm knitting on my shawl, but I don't know that I really need that, because I'm not really going to need a beginning of round marker or anything like that. But anyway, I'll be using it for a new cast on soon. That is exciting. All right, so that's all the knitting content that I have to share with you guys today. So if you're just here for knitting, thank you so much for joining me, and I will be back next week with a new roundup video all about winter accessories. I'm really excited for this one because there is a pattern on that list that I have been waiting for. I've been watching it being teased on Instagram for a while now, and I just picked up some yarn for it. I'm not going to share that yarn with you today. I'm going to save it for when I've got a little bit of progress on that one and when I'm talking about that new pattern. I'm so excited about it. But anyway, that will be next week's video. And if you do want to see some of the other crafts I've been working on, I first wanted to talk about the bowls that my husband's been making, because I shared in a previous episode that he is a wood turner. So a couple of years ago, he bought himself a wood lathe and he's been practicing on it, making bowls. Recently, he's been making a lot of different little things. I've got some ideas for him too. I'm like, would you be able to make something like that? And then he'll go in his shop and come back with something and show it to me. And he is amazing right now. Like, he's just started and he is doing amazing things already. So I'm very excited for him. So we decided we wanted to combine two crafts together and use his handmade bowls and make candles in them. So I wanted to share with you guys what we did so far. So this is, I'm going to show you my most favorite one first, and then I'll show you the other ones too. They're all beautiful, but this one was my favorite. So this is the bowl that he made, and I think I showed you guys this one on a previous episode. And look at all the different colors of the wood there. It's absolutely beautiful. And then we made candles. So these are soy candles, and we got these. We had this wax because we made little candles years ago in glass jars. And so I had a whole bunch of this leftover soy wax and also a bunch of fragrance oils and stuff like that. And then I also had these wooden wicks. So these wicks when you burn them, they crackle. So it sounds like a bit like a crackling fire in a way. They're really, really pretty. And then this one we decided to scent it like balsam fir. So I think it's balsam fir mixed together with a little bit of bergamot. And it has like a really nice like holiday seasonal smell to it. I love it. And yeah, so that's the first one. And this is another different shape. And this one I think is vanilla and sandalwood and maybe a bit of bergamot as well. And yeah, so pretty. And then another one is this one, and you can see some of the bark still on the bowl. So many different colors in this one. And yeah, we made the candles, and this one I think is the same scent as this one. So like a vanilla sandalwood smell. And yeah, we've been having fun. We are going to be making more of these. We are just waiting because you need to let the candles cure for a little while. I've kind of read differing amounts of time, but anywhere up to 2 weeks. So we've been letting them sit for, it'll be 2 weeks this weekend, and then we're going to light them and see how well they burn. So we were a little bit worried about burning candles in a wooden bowl because you don't want the bowl to catch on fire, obviously. And so I did look it up, and what they said was to, what do you call it? Give it a coat, a couple coats of shellac. So that's what we did. We put shellac in it and then let it dry and then made the candles. So we'll see how that goes. I want to see, if it burns safely and how well it burns. And so I'm very excited to get more into making more candles. If you guys can give me your recommendations of your favorite candle scent, leave that in the comments down below because I'm always curious what people like. If people like a really scented candle, my favorite for this time of the year, like right now, is I like the cinnamon pumpkin-y smelling candles. And then once we get closer, like after Halloween, after that time, then I like balsam fir a lot. So that's my favorite. Anything that smells like a Christmas tree, I love that smell. So yeah, let me know what your favorite scent of candle is. Another project that I'm working on that is not knitting related is a leather handbag. So a little while ago, Babylon Leather reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try out one of their leather handbag kits. And I was like, yes. And I went on the website and looked through all the different styles, and there are so many different styles on there. And I chose it's the Cambridge bag. And I really thought that this was such a cute, like little brown leather bag. And I thought that it would go really nicely with my Moby sweater when it's all finished. So I'm really excited to wear those two pieces together. So anyway, yeah, the kit comes with everything that you need to make this bag. Even all of the pieces, they're all cut out. All the needle holes are already perforated in the pieces. And then you get these little snips, like little scissors. You get everything included. You don't need to buy anything to put this together. And then it has a video that you watch while you put it together. So the video is just, there's no sound to it. It's just the words on the screen. So I had I would watch it and pause it many times to wait till I caught up to it and read it and caught up to it. But it's very, very easy to understand and to put this bag together. I only have a little bit done so far because I just started on it on the weekend, but I'm really loving it. When I sit down to work on this, it's very relaxing to work on, but in a little bit of a different way than knitting a sweater would be. So I like to take a little break from knitting and work on this one as well. So I'll show you what I have so far. These are my pieces that I've done. So on this one, I've stitched the top here. And then this one, you stitch all the top pieces there. And then this one, I have stitched the front pocket to it. So it's really cute. I love it. And I think it's going to turn out really, really nice. I will put, if I haven't already, I'll put a little picture of what it's going to look like. And I think that it's going to look so cute together with this sweater, don't you think? And like a really cute fall outfit with some boots and, you know. So I'm so happy with this project so far. I should also show you what it came with because I thought that this was really cute. You get this cute little tag that can go on your bag. I'm not really a tag person on my bag, but I think it's really, really cute. I actually am going to use this to put on my son's karate bag because he recently just went up a belt. So he's an orange belt now. And now he has to carry this big bag full of sparring gear, like helmet and these, whatever you call them, gloves and all of this stuff. And the other day, he ended up bringing home another kid's bag by accident because they all have the exact same bag. You get the bag from the dojo and it has their logo on it and everything, and they just throw them all at the front. And so I would imagine it's very easy to, pick the wrong bag up. So I'm gonna like put this little horse on the bag so he knows which one is his. And then it also came with this scarf too, if you wanted to tie, oh, actually there's two scarves. If you wanted to tie a scarf on your bag. Again, that's not really my style, but I think it's really cute if you're into, having a little bit of something different on your bag, then you could tie this little scarf on it too. Another thing that my husband's been working on, as well as the bowls, are these cute little spinning tops. So he's got a whole bunch of different shapes. And I think they're so adorable. And I thought, like, kids don't really play with spinning tops anymore. That's kind of what I thought. But we just have these out on the counter. And whenever my son walks by, he'll spin it. If his friends come over, they'll spin it. And they love, like, playing with these. And so my husband made a whole bunch and gave them to my son's friends, and they love them. I think they're really, really cute. It's kind of like the original fidget spinner in a way. And yeah, I think they're adorable. All right, so that's everything that I had to share with you guys today. Now I wanted to announce the winners from my textures bundles. So I used a random comment picker to find the winners, and this is winner number 1. And winner number 2. So if you are one of these winners, please contact me. Either my email address is linked in YouTube, as well as you could contact me through Ravelry or through my Instagram. So everything will be listed down below, so you can choose the way that you want to contact me. And then we will talk about how I will get that pattern to you. Thank you to everybody who entered the contest. I received so many comments with so many suggestions for other texture knits that I hadn't already seen, so that's wonderful. I'll be back next week with another bundle of beautiful winter accessories, as well as I will be updating you on some of my progress on one of those patterns. And thank you guys again so much for being here, and until next time, happy knitting everyone. Bye!
Why we have to try.